The headline, the thumbnail that I used for this was, "We told you Trump was installed to oversee the bankruptcy of the United States, and now the Treasury has declared the U.S. insolvent." Hi there, crypto fans and remote viewing fans. I'm Dick Allgire at Ethereum Place. Jordan Finiseth, the fabulous Jordan Finiseth from Future Forecasting Group headquarters. We study this stuff all day long. Jordan and I, we research cryptos, the financial system switchover. And this one, a little bit under the radar. It was not, this is big news, but it just kind of, they just kind of put it out, didn't they, Jordan?
Yeah, there's, they release these big news stories when there's like war and all this other stuff going on, so it gets buried. I think that's on purpose, but yeah, it got down there, and it's not like anybody that's been paying attention for like the last, I don't know, decade would be like, well, yeah. But the fact that the news just kind of like ignored it tells me that they don't want people to realize this fact.
So let me give you the numbers, and this is published on a number of sources. You can look it up. Just Google U.S. Treasury Department declares U.S. insolvent. The U.S. has $47.7 trillion, $47.78 trillion in liabilities. So that's what we owe, for over 47 trillion. And in assets, the U.S. government has 6.06 trillion in assets. But that doesn't include Medicare, Social Security, and other unfunded liabilities. If you put all that in the mix, the U.S. is $136.2 trillion in debt, and the Treasury Department says it's now 5 times U.S. GDP, gross domestic product. That's, we've been kicking the can down the road, Jordan, and there's no more road.
Yep. Here's like the well-known U.S. debt clock. And even these numbers are below what you were just reading. Like this was what, 46? National debt's about 40 trillion. Unfunded total U.S. liabilities and debt, 107. You were saying 136. So even what this website, which people like cite, is underscoring a more conservative side of the actual picture that we're looking at. And then you look at the asset side, and it's not like great assets. We're talking student loan debt isn't one of the assets, like a couple $1 trillion there. So
Wait,
it doesn't paint a good picture.
Let's unpack that. Don't just gloss over that. One of the greatest assets of the U.S. is student debt.
Yep, all that money that the government. That's as a student myself and have paid student loan debts. It's like students got kind of worked over. The government basically pushed them to go to college and then said, we'll loan you, and now they're 5% interest rates or something like that on $1.8 trillion worth of debt. Yeah, that's one of the biggest assets of the U.S. government. So all those promises from Democrat presidents or whoever saying we're going to forgive the debt, they were false, because there's no way that the debtors, the people that supplied that debt, or the U.S. is just going to forgive that amount of money to that many people just like that. So yeah, it's one of the biggest assets. Yeah.
What's going to happen, Jordan? Because debts are not just forgiven, and the U.S. does owe this. Will it be a war to write it off? Do they rehypothecate other assets? Is it the move to cryptos? Like, does anybody understand what the real consequences?
I think, well, we can't really look at it from the past because like we don't have the same record keeping that we do now as we did back then. But that's World War I and World War II, similar backdrops, lots of stuff going on in the world. They wanted to change the whole system. And historically, when the debt loads have gotten too much and they need that reset or that jubilee, they do wars because it kind of distracts everybody. A lot of people die. But this is when you get into like the parts of that we talk about here in some of our more like deeper conversations about like one of the reasons that the bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki was because Japan owed a debt to the U.S. or something like that, and because they couldn't pay it, we have a birth certificate with the BIS, right? They're like, okay, each one of those people that die is worth $10,000. How many people are you gonna kill? Like that's how they recoup that debt. So it's not very positive ways that they do it, and it's not gonna be any kind of good. And that's what we've been warning about here for years. Like there's a switchover coming try and find a way to set yourself up comfortably now, because it's going to be hard times for a lot of people over the next decade or so.
Let's go back to what you said about the BIS and the birth certificates. A lot of people don't realize that. When you're born, your life has a value that is deposited by the jurisdiction in which you're born. It's deposited with the Bank for International Settlements, and they trade bonds off the value of your life. And at the end of your life, whoever's holding that birth certificate, if you're in that jurisdiction, there's a payout made, there's a payment made. And in wars, that's the whole reason for the Red Cross, was to go settle the birth certificates in war, to see who died where and settle the books.
And this also kind of gets into like some of the issues we've been dealing with for the last 20 years. And this topic right here, the U.S. is insolvent. It needs more birth certificates. So what have we been having unchecked for the last 10 years?
Immigration.
Unchecked immigrate. Very good. We're not just going to kick all those people out, because that's money in the U.S. coffers. So like there's layers to all this stuff. That's why when people, oh, Trump's going to kick all the immigrants, I'm like, that's never going to happen. It's for reasons, monetary reasons. So yeah, there's lots of different layers here to unpack for people to really understand what's going on behind the scenes. And just because they're throwing out the U.S. Treasury is insolvent doesn't mean the U.S. is just going to go belly up in the next, because if the U.S. is insolvent, there's a lot of other countries out there that are insolvent as well.
Well, our understanding was that Trump was put in to oversee the bankruptcy of the United States and the emergence of the digital distributed ledger tokenized system, and that wasn't ready for his first term, so they had to take him out, put a placeholder in, and then bring him back so that he could oversee this now, and they've just declared us.
Yeah, well, I like to think about those topics, and I see this culture war on the ground, and that's why I say there's like every group you're in on the internet, every belief system you have, there's a bubble that's been created for you by the people that handle people. Whether you're a flat earther, you're a MAGA person, you're a QAnon, you're a blue lefty. All these they put you in your spirituality. You believe in multi dimensions, because in the 70s the CIA is like, let's tell them that there's multiple dimensions. All these types of things. Like there's so many different bubbles. So to see these crowds saying like Trump's going to do this, Trump's going to do that, and to have this greater understanding that no, they have a plan in place. It wasn't going to be in place in 2021 for him to do his second term. So they orchestrated this whole thing that kept everybody distracted, voter fraud and all this stuff for years, and kept that culture war going, the division between us and them. Again, they're really good at playing that game. And then they inserted him to help now when it's starting to roll out. It just helps me dispel a lot of those narratives and say, like, there's a bigger plan in place, and realize that these soap operas that they're feeding the public are just that. And they're sucking the energy.
AI in real time is running algorithms to feed. If you're listening to Jordan and me right now, you got here probably because an algorithm fed back that this is your feedback loop.
Yep.
So
cryptos is a bubble. I know that. It's not about what you do. I say it's not about what you do. It's about being aware of what you do. I'm aware that these bubbles exist, and so I don't get too trapped into any one, because I don't like to be trapped like that. And free your mind and look from a more macro level at what's the bigger picture here. Why are they doing this? Can you place yourself in that playing field versus being stuck in one of these bubbles?
Jordan, did you see the report that the U.S. government has gotten the domain names alien.gov and aliens.gov, and that's verified?
Yeah. Well, we've said it here, and lots of people saying the last card they got in that deck is the alien invasion card. So if war does peter out, people are like, no, we're not going to do that again. I fully expect an alien invasion that's going to be like populated by devices that we created. I don't know.
It's a big show, and we're in the front row seat. It's like an immersive video game, and we're on the front of the car going.
Just
wow.
Remember that Trump was a reality TV star long before he got elected. He's still playing that game. It's just the world reality, the one that we've all been stuck in and we're so sucked into. But pull yourself out and kind of take a more McAfee again. I just said, like, there's a big play going on, and you don't have to get so involved, even if it's just for like your health. People get so enthralled and engrossed in these topics and these discussions: illegal immigration, gay rights, transgenderism, all these things. They're all distractions. I promise you. Go back 200 years, we didn't have any of that in our mental sphere. We weren't connected. We had our little farmland. None of that impacted our mental state with like it does now. So it's a different game. We're hyper novelty. So much information and data, whether it's even just signals like that where you live, Dick, that just in the walls, the Wi-Fi, all these things impacting us. Got to try to find a way to step back and pull yourself out of it.
The number of things competing for my attention on a daily basis, it's just overwhelming.
Yeah, and
All
then you
right,
try
well,
remote view, right? You try to look across time and space with all that.
I'm supposed to go do a session. All right, so the Treasury has announced the U.S. is insolvent. We knew it, and now they're admitting it. And what comes next? The tokenization of everything, and we're going to watch that happen, and we'll be reporting on it. Thanks, Jordan.
Yeah,
Always good to see you, man.
yeah, I enjoy these talks.